All right, guys. Sorry to be quiet. Not to. Sorry I couldn't talk to you for a minute there. I just wanted to listen to what was going on. If I could hear anything they were saying. Not sure if they knew I was there or not. They probably did know I was there. $202. So don't ever do a field sobriety test. That's the lesson from this interaction here. In Colorado, I'm pretty sure all you are required to do is take a breathalyzer. You don't have to do any of these circus games, standing on one foot, counting, walking a line. That's not required. So, welcome in, Good Citizen Media. We just observed a lady get arrested for what appeared to be a DUI or DWI violation. So now it looks like they are searching. Looks like she's searching that vehicle over there. I'm probably 40 feet from that car that I'm recording. It's 10:53 on Saturday, November 22nd. You're watching Press for Transparency. I'm over here on, 13th Street in Durango, Colorado. What's up, Jenny? Kat, welcome in. Space Miner, thanks for joining. What's up, Matthew Crespin? Uh, we just saw a lady get arrested after taking a field sobriety test. She got hauled off. She was arrested and driven away. So, yeah, the lady was crying as she was being arrested. Kind of a sad sight. North Idaho in the house. Is that let me think. Is that McCall? I've been to McCall, Idaho. Isn't that northern Idaho? I went to McCall on a fire a while back. Went on a fire detail up there. Firefighting detail with the Type 2 crew. Actually, I went up to Idaho with the Santa Fe Hotshots too. Been on a bunch of fires in Idaho. Oh, McCall's in the middle. Sorry. There's a lot of beautiful country in Idaho. I'm in Durango, Colorado. Pretty close to the intersection of 13th and Main. That's right, hit that like button before you head out. Thank you all for watching. That's right, Space Miner. There's a lot of big timber in Idaho. There is plenty of saw work to be done on fires in Idaho. Is there any snow on the ground there in Idaho where you're at? Right. Yeah. Idaho has lots of big mountains and lakes and streams. Also got plenty of grasslands. They also have plenty of farmlands. Good to hear, Cat. We got snow in the forecast for tomorrow. And the temperatures are supposed to drop quite a bit tomorrow. Thank you, Rami. Yeah, Rami just said I had some good subjects of truth on my website. Check it out. It's Press for Transparency at pressfortransparency.com. can read about what government's up to, what nonprofit organizations are up to, what public officials are up to. You can check out some maps on there. Lots of links. I write my own stories. If anybody has a tip that they'd like to submit, I always take tips for news stories. What's up, Brandon Mitchell? If anybody would like to reach out to me, my email address is athowell@gmail.com. That's ATHOWELL@gmail.com. It's the best way to get a hold of me. My email address is on my website. Got some recent stories about the chapter of Turning Point USA up at Fort Lewis College, how they tried to register as a registered student organization. They were originally rejected by the student government, and then within a week they completely flipped their decision. They didn't explain why. They didn't explain why they initially rejected them or why they flipped their decision completely and decided to approve them. So Brandon, we just watched a lady take the field sobriety test. There's a male officer here earlier giving this lady a field sobriety test. You know, walking the line, standing on one foot, counting numbers, and then they just arrested her. She started crying. They loaded her up and he drove her away. Never play Roadside Olympics. That's right. It's the best way to describe it is Roadside Olympics. So I think what we're doing now is waiting for a tow truck or somebody who's going to pick up this vehicle. Looked like she had a passenger and the passenger just got out and walked away. Right? Yeah, that's a good question. Did she back the blue before getting arrested? I see a lot of police interactions here in Durango where homeless people are given tickets and then right after they get a ticket, they thank the officer. Oh, thank you, officer. Thank you so much. So never play Roadside Olympics. Never do any Roadside Olympics for the police. If they suspect you of drunk driving, I believe that you are required to take a breathalyzer unless you want to lose your license. You could, if you refuse to take a breathalyzer, they could take your license from you for a year, I believe. And so that's also a pretty harsh penalty. So we're in Durango, Colorado. I believe we're on 13th Street. Steady. Right? It's a good point, Space Miner. Okay, the tow truck is here. It's gonna be Lucky Few. What a fitting name. What a fitting name. The tow truck company is Lucky Few. Lucky Few. That's a good idea, Space Miner. Dang. Oh, Spaceman, are you talking about the guy from Albuquerque? Are you talking about the police officer from Albuquerque? I don't know, maybe. I'm not totally familiar with that tow truck scam, but there was a DWI scam cop that came over here. There's an officer that was involved in some sort of DWI scandal in Albuquerque that got hired on by Durango PD. And then okay, same thing. So the corporate broadcast media found out about it and ran some stories, and then the cop got fired immediately. Well, not immediately, but pretty shortly after he got hired on, he got fired. Because Durango PD claimed they didn't know anything about what had been going on, about his history or something like that. Right? They just claimed they didn't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure the cop's background was all something they could have read about or watched on KRQE News or something, or read in the Albuquerque Journal or whatever. What's up, Just Julie? Welcome in. So Julie, we just watched a lady get arrested. She was given a field sobriety test. You know, they made her walk a line. They made her stand on one foot, and for a while they made her count numbers. I don't know how exactly, but you know, a typical roadside Olympics. And apparently she failed because they arrested her and she started crying. And the male officer drove her away. Lucky few. And he's out of here. Yeah, you're welcome, Just Julie. You're watching Press for Transparency. See, the time is 11:16. It's November 22nd. And that's all we're gonna see of this incident. Yeah, I feel bad for the lady. It's hard watching her cry. Wow, that was 39 minutes. Well, I didn't even talk to the cops. And they didn't try talking to me. They hardly even looked at me. But I'm pretty sure they knew that I was there within, a few minutes. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, Just Julie. Thanks for chatting, Space Miner, Kat, Jenny, Brandon. Y'all have a good night. Not sure if I'll see you anymore tonight, but I really appreciate the social experience with all of you. And Press for Transparency.